Welcome to CallumConnects, 5-minute entrepreneurial inspiration for your day. Joining us today on CallumConnects is Janine Manning. Janine is a career strategist and personal branding coach for driven professionals wanting to play big and has been an entrepreneur for 12 years.
A hurdle I've faced as an entrepreneur is like a constant need for striving. It's just that doing for the sake of doing. I found myself in a spiral where I was constantly comparing to what other people were doing. I felt like I had to keep pushing the envelope. I had to keep doing. And it got to a point where I had to ask the question, like, what was I actually striving for? So to kind of combat this, what I decided to do was ask myself, like, what's my number? What I mean by that is, like, at the end of the day, like, what is a profit that I want to be generating, and have absolute clarity around that? How many sessions and how many workshops and how many keynote speaking events did I need to do a year to make that number happen? It was also even breaking down things like, how many social media posts did I actually want to write a week? How many networking meetings did I want to have? Really kind of boiling down and understanding for myself, like, where was I putting my time and for what purpose was I allotting that time to those different activities? I even got down to the point of actually asking myself, like, when did I want to clock off and how many nights did I want to tuck my kids in? Like, what was the number of nights I wanted to tuck my kids in during the week? What were the number of times I wanted to do school drop off? And suddenly before me, kind of my life kind of morphed into this, this manageable project where I could understand and had clarity about what I was striving for, what I had to do to make that happen. And I guess the key learnings for me off the back of that were the more clarity you have, the more focus you have to not just strive for the sake of striving, but to really make solid decisions about what activities you need to do and why you need to do them, or what education you need to be upskilling and why you need it. So thinking a lot more strategically. The other thing I learned to do off the back of actually knowing my number was actually saying no. So when I knew that actually no longer was an opportunity going to help me to achieve that number or to fast track that, I felt a lot more comfortable saying no and letting opportunities go by. The other thing it enabled me to do is to really establish kind of healthy boundaries. And I think especially in the time of COVID, when you're working from home and you're also, there are no boundaries between, work and home life. And I think being able to go back and hit the reset button on those and really kind of rediscover those for myself was very, very powerful, and being able to create a greater sense of, of balance and knowing exactly what I was focusing on, knowing what I needed as an individual, what I needed also as a business owner to be the best versions of myself. And finally, what this gave me, which is so important, and I hear so many entrepreneurs speak about it all the time, it gave me time to work on the business versus actually being in the business. I think this is an absolute key for maintaining kind of this mindset of being exceptionally focused and knowing my purpose versus just striving for the sake of doing. So at the end of this, I can really say that stepping back and knowing my number and putting some boundaries and some structure around that has enabled me to kind of really rejuvenate and feel fitter and faster and a hell of a lot more resilient in my business, where I get up each day ready to fight a new fight with an absolute kind of laser focus.
To receive a complimentary copy of the Progressive Partnerships book for entrepreneurs on Kindle or audiobook, plus loads of other goodies at the intersection of investing and small business, go to callumlang.com now.